Hi Aries, and welcome to your August 2021 reading. This is a reading for Aries Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Mars. Check out the description box for the meanings of the placements and also for all the other things that you need concerning personal readings and the card decks that I'm using, how you can donate and help this channel. So yeah, let's get started. In the beginning, I'm going to speak a little bit about the general energies here, and then I will go into a love relationship situation. If you don't have a specific person in mind right now, then this can be an inner conflict also that you're working with, or a situation from the past that you're still healing from and you need some insight. Okay, so August I think is a really nice month, especially for fire signs. So for you, the sun is trining you. This is nice. There's a new moon in Leo that really gives you also a nice positive energy when it comes to an emotional reboot. On the 16th we have Venus also moving into Libra, so that's really good for relationships, partnerships, where we are understanding more about partnerships, where we are really focusing on the topic. And yeah, all in all, after the new moon in Leo, there's really mostly just really nice aspects here. There's hardly any there's no squares anymore, and there's hardly any tense moments, other than there's a lot of planets going retrograde, so let's not forget that. But yeah, so in general, you're starting this month with the Lover's card in reverse, which means in general that there might be a moment where you have to decide, or where you have to really make up your mind what is the right thing for you to go into. It can be a relationship, it can be a job, it can be a project, it can be something where you're a little unsure if this is the right person slash project slash job slash way for you, and it seems like you're trying to really tap into your feelings this month, to understand on an intuitive level if a certain situation is best for you, and if you want to step into that or not. Because the Lovers is really about letting go, letting yourself fall into a situation, fall in love, those kind of things. And I see there is a little bit of resistance, and it also has to do with you maybe not being a little, I mean, the Queen of Cups can really be just emotionally drained and exhausted. So it's really time with the Four of Swords here to take some rest, to maybe isolate a little bit, to draw back, to let your mind figure out stuff for itself, you know, to meditate, to sleep, to take naps, all that good stuff. Because I think as long as you're not emotionally recharged, it's gonna be hard to make those decisions, and it's just gonna get you more into the place of the Nine of Swords, and we don't want that, because the bottom of the deck is the Nine of Swords, and that's just a very active mental energy that is not necessarily for the best. So it's overactive, and it can really be a little anxious. So try to treat yourself better than normal, even more gentle than normal. And I see with the Queen of Cups in reverse, maybe that's something you really want to focus on, that you mother yourself a little more, you know, that you let yourself know that it's okay. You don't have to know everything right now. You don't have to figure out everything right now. The universe has its plan, and you will know when you know. Don't force a decision. Also with the Lovers in reverse, we should not force a decision. We should really take our time and make sure that we're emotionally stable and rested. So in a relationship situation, I see that you're in a place of growth that really puts you in a position of strength, of passion for where you want to go, how you want to proceed in your love life, and you're really in a position of power. Even though this might feel new, and I feel like this whole Queen of Cups in reverse, Lovers in reverse situation it can just feel like, oh, this is new and therefore it's emotionally unsettling, or I'm not sure what to make of it. But in general, I see that maybe you're looking at a person, at a connection, and this person is not really coming forward, and you're really committed to your growth. You're understanding that you cannot wait, that you cannot go into that direction. You don't want to lose strength. You don't want to make yourself smaller, even though there might be a lot of lusty energy here between you. Maybe you find this person very attractive, but in general, you really don't want to lose any of your strength, any of your power, any of your courage also. And I think the courage here is really to stay where you are at and to not go into this connection too fast, you know, to have patience, to stay in your power. I think this is really the courage here, to not, you know, trauma bond, to not go there and try to help the person develop, because that's really not your job. And this person is in a development sort of situation. They have the Hangman here, and I think they're really looking for a new perspective on life in general. I'm not so sure if it's so much about this connection. I think it's more they are maybe trapped in a situation, or they brought themselves into a situation where they're like not very happy, where they feel like they've built circumstances that imprison them a little bit, and they're trying to get out of it and find a new perspective on things, and also find a spiritual insight into the whole situation. So with the Ten of Swords in reverse, sorry to say, but I think that this is a decision from both people, that this is not a connection that has a lot of forward momentum right now, especially with the Eight of Wands in reverse, clarifying that. I think this is really part of your growth process. This is really part of you developing into an even stronger individual that is more courageous, that is also more in her sexual feminine power, which is Leo energy, and that is willing to take the not easy road for their own, because they want to follow their own true self, if that makes sense. The Orphan card came out, and I want to read the book because it's a really good book, and I'm sure there is good messages for you. So yeah, you might feel a little left out, and this situation, even though on one hand it makes you stronger, it still might hurt, you know, and those things can coexist and happen at the same time. So just don't be hard on yourself. I think this is the most important thing here with the Nine of Swords, that you don't start to be hard on yourself, that you've done anything wrong. There is no wrong or right in the growing and healing process, and you're in such a strong, powerful position here. So I have a feeling also that this other person understands that you are just more developed as a person, and honestly just out of their league, and that's why they're not making a move, because they know they don't want to mess your life up in a way. And that happens so often. That happens so often with people where they're like, no, I'm not gonna mess this person's life up because I'm not good enough for them. Because a lot of people out there have an inferiority complex, so don't underestimate that. But they might be right, you know, they might be right, not even that they have an inferiority complex, they might just be right that this is, you don't deserve to have to deal with their stuff right now. And I think you should not want to deal with their stuff right now, and I feel like you don't, but it's hard. It's hard to not let yourself fall into this. Okay, orphaned, essential meanings: a sense of loss, an identity crisis, recognizing that you don't fit in, the need to belong, uncertainty about your place. We were all meant to have connections with other people within our family, society, and the larger culture. No man is an island, and it's important to recognize when being a part of rather than separate from is essential to your well-being. The issue at hand is the need to find where you fit. Be true to your core truths and values. Perhaps you no longer identify with a group or a community the way you did before and need to find a new situation. And you know, it's fine if you did identify in the past. It just means that you grew out of it, and that's a good thing. You know, it's not... I understand that it might feel like a disconnect, but it really is more an indication of you growing stronger. Perhaps you no longer identify with a group or community the way you did before and need to find a new situation. You might be feeling a deep sense of loss or confusion. Address the need for belonging and know that you will find your place with others of like mind and spirit. It's okay to let go of pressure to fit in. Not everyone will understand you. It's time to move on. I love this. I love this. So as you shift and evolve and commit to your own growth, you long for support but may be disappointed and hurt by others who are not providing what you feel you deserve. Perhaps you are drifting away from this relationship because you're in a different stage of personal growth. As I said, wow. Perhaps you are in a new relationship and discovering that you don't share the same values and beliefs, so you feel left out, unable to get to that intimate place of safety and belonging. Take heart, as Spirit knows you and loves you and will steer you in the direction of those who accept you as you are without artifice or agenda. Don't compromise yourself to belong. It won't be worth the price, you guys. Yes, I love this because it really talks about being your true self, about authenticity, and about following your path and understanding that there will always be like-minded, like-spirited people on your path that do understand you, that do know how to also accept you and how to support you and how to be there for you. And before in the German reading, I said, if you feel like maybe left out from your family, because orphaned always also comes up with family issues, of course. So just know that you can always build your soul family, you know, or you have already built your soul family and you can always go to them. So yeah. Look at the charms. So nice. Okay, consider this a lucky moment with this lucky charm here, and it might feel a little like a extension of consciousness kind of moment, or of your perception, you know. So it might open different doors of perception on a also spiritual level, maybe even a little bit of a psychedelic level, that you now see much clearer. And I think seeing clear is really a big thing here. We have two quartzes that came out between you. So yes, seeing clear what this actually is about. Loving yourself first, I see here with this heart charm, and maybe there's an S that came out. It's also standing for the self for me. So yeah, concentrating on the self, loving the self first. There is a lot of sexual attraction from this person, also from your side. We have 3 charms indicating that with this is my little cock, Portuguese cock, and then we have this pin that also says that there is maybe attachment issues when it comes to sexual connections. That might bring up issues, and this other person gets too attached on a sexual connection. There is a need definitely for this person to recharge batteries, to be able to open their third eye. They are, I think, not communicating fully what they are seeing and experiencing in this connection. But yes, this is a transformatory moment, definitely, and it's also important to really work on the core of your emotional stability. And this whole connection is really transforming that. You're in a very strong place. I think you're both seeing things very clear. I also feel like if you want to communicate something to this person, it's okay, you know, you don't have to hold back communication, but I think you should not compromise, and you should stay in your power, and maybe you need some communication to really get closure. Sometimes that can be helpful. Be careful, because this person might turn hypercriticism and evil eye kind of situation towards you, because they're turning it towards themselves as well. So they might be hypercritical towards themselves and not be aware and in charge and in control of their sexual impulses. And I think they're in a process where they put themselves into a situation, as I said, where they are trapped right now, and they are gaining some spiritual insight. But it's a process. It's really a process, and there's just a lot of sexual energy that is not necessarily super healthy, I think. And they're really maybe trying to penetrate with like an unhealthy ego. They're trying to penetrate your thought processes, but don't let them, because you have clarity, and that's what you're thinking right now is really, even though you're really wearing yourself out thinking, because I think you want to figure everything out, so they cannot really get through to you and get into your brain. But make sure you're rested, because it's easy, you know, for somebody to mess with your head when you're not rested. So make sure that's not happening. So yeah, Aries, that's your reading. Thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe, like, comment, and check out the description box, as I said, for donations, private readings, and for my Amazon wish list, and for everything you need to know. If you have further questions, you can always ask them in the comments. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.